This is the second deadliest attack in Kenyan history. The first one being as far back as 1998, when you'll remember the US embassy was bombed. More than 200 people died there. And although it was a terrific explosion, I believe, I believe it probably came out of the blue back in the late 90s for a lot of Kenyans. This one, because it's students, because it's learning, because these are the people at the prime in their life, because, for example, today they were supposed to be on their Easter holiday. This is why it's impacting people so much. We're hearing terrible stories coming out as well, Uveka, of just how these people, how some of them were able to survive and how others were just gunned down, hiding behind desks in classrooms, hiding under their beds. This is a terrible tragedy, and it's definitely impacting people across the country.
Robin, was this purely an attack by al-Shabaab to sort of, like we say, they have been targeting institutions of Western learning where now they've rooted out Christian students and those were the ones that they killed? Was that purely that reason, or did they say anything that survivors have reported back that might indicate otherwise, that this attack was for other reasons?
No, and conspiracy theorists have been saying that perhaps this attack, because Garissa is quite a soft target. I mean, Garissa is, in a lot of ways, because it is so close to the Somali border and because of the large Somali-Kenyan population there, we wouldn't have expected, unless it was directly on sort of a Christian institution such as a church, an attack like this. What Sheikh Ali Mohammed Rage, who's the al-Shabaab spokesperson, told journalists in a statement is that this attack was on this particular university because he believed that it was trying to spread Christianity through Western learning, and of course that it was a place of infidelity, he called it. But there is still outstanding questions. One of the concerns is, was this perhaps meant to be an attack for another, that was destined for another city that was perhaps thwarted? There has been an increased police presence and an increase in tension in Nairobi and Mombasa, especially with all the travel advisories and warnings issued by various embassies and high commissions. Or the other question is this a diversion altogether? However, those are still conspiracy theories, and as we head into the weekend, I'm sure Kenyans are praying across the country from all religions that this is a quiet one.
Now, we know that authorities are still looking for one of the gunmen, and also seeing reports that one of those who were killed, one of the gunmen killed, was a man who'd headed the mall attack in Kenya. What do we know about that?
Well, there's been a lot of people who've been accused of masterminding the Westgate Mall attacks, that they've been killed in various drone strikes and that they've had this and that to do with the Westgate Mall attack. The man who is wanted we're not necessarily sure if he was a gunman that managed to free himself, or if he was in some way or that police believe he was in some way involved in the planning. That is a little sketchy, and we're still trying to work out exactly why the police are looking for this particular individual. In terms of someone being involved in the planning of the Westgate Mall, for example, the US drone strike a few weeks ago, that targeted someone who the Americans say and the Kenyans say had a lot to do with the planning as well. So there's a lot of speculation as to exactly how high up. It's very doubtful that al-Shabaab or any militant organization would send its key planners and key facilitators, I suppose, to the front lines, to the battle lines, to fight their war for them. It's more likely that those are the kind of people who would stay and continue planning attacks.